Hello, welcome to the stream. It is, I guess, the first real session of Across a Thousand Dead Worlds because last time was just kind of setup and stuff. But before that, I have a thrilling thing to show. I have the physical book, the Across a Thousand Dead Worlds book. It arrived in the post. It's quite nice, so got a nice inside cover image. It looks like we've got like a space station or maybe a spaceship over a planet heading towards a black hole or something. In the back inside cover, we have what looks like a ring around a planet. It's a sewn binding. That's pretty solid, and it comes with a little bookmark built in. The content of the book is it's the same as what we flipped through beforehand, so there's nothing really like new here, but it's quite nice paper. Yep, always good to have the physical book. It came with some battle maps. So we've got alien facilities. We have alien facilities and alien planets. We have 3 of each. So depending on what the situation is, I can maybe roll a d6 to decide what sort of thing I'm going to use. It came with tokens, which I've not popped out yet. I think the bite ones are like aliens, and the gun ones are people. And the little Black Oath sticker. It is Black Oath Games who made the thing. So yeah, this is quite nice. I was going to show this off the previous stream, but it didn't arrive in time, so hence showing it off now. But I will put this to the side and switch over to the tabletop. Let's just gather up my my dice here. Not sure yet which dice I specifically need for this game, but we'll find out as we go. Right, so let's start with a bit of introduction. So we have our untangle my mouse cable. We have our 5 characters. We have our player character, Silas Lang. He is the team leader. He is a hedge fund kid who got caught in a big scandal and had to use chose to use his ill-gotten gains to flee the planet, which might seem a fairly drastic reaction, but his goal is to make a name for himself as a diver, one of the few successful divers, and kind of from that get into this company, this shady company that oversees this whole space station called Drake Industries, and then he'll be rich and powerful enough that his past crimes on Earth are meaningless. We have then 4 NPC crew with us. We have Nikita Vort, Murtis Mancini, Zhao Price, and Miesha Lombardo. Of these, only Zhao and Miesha have kind of distinguished themselves so far. So Zhao is incredibly boring, very disciplined, very principled. He derives great pleasure from how efficiently he can pack his bags, which he shows with a slight upturn of the lips, but definitely not a big grin because that wouldn't be principled enough. And Miesha is our medic, who helped out when we had a slight bout of radiation poisoning from a leaking battery. We have come to the site Zasto 223955, which is the first place we're going to explore. It was previously explored by another team, so we have some information about it, which helps, but also half of the loot has been taken, as you can see by these white squares I've marked off here. What we know is that this is a huge space-based bio research and containment facility. It is particularly high-tech, even for RSATH stuff. And it is built in a characteristically non-RSATH style. So they normally go for kind of like cyclopean constructions. But this is actually a bit... It is a very big thing, but it's kind of cramped inside. I think there's lots of corridors. There's poor visibility. We also know that the place is in lockdown, so we'll need to break our way through every single door, which might get a bit tedious, but we'll see. and it is extremely active. It has some known threats that you kind of commonly see in like many Arsath sites, but the main encounter here are swarms of acid-blooded predatory synthetics. And it's quite unusual for there to be such little variety in encounters in such a huge space. In fact, we rolled a d12 for how many encounters there would be, and we got a 1. So this is pretty rare. So I'm kind of wondering why there are so many of these things, these hool, as we have decided they're called. Or I guess the previous visitors decided they're called. Maybe there's kind of like a grey goo or paperclip maximization situation in the past, given their synthetics. Maybe something was like manufacturing these, and the incentives weren't aligned, or the situation changed or something, and it just produced way too many. These things are pretty bad news, I think. They are... where's our creature tracker? Here's our creature index sheet. They are humanoid in size and intelligence, but they have a very alien appearance. So they have a brightly coloured reptilian appearance. They only have 2 limbs, which is a bit weird. And these are both clawed, so I'm not quite sure how they move. They also don't have eyes or a mouth, so I think they probably have a good sense of smell and motion from like air movement, perhaps. And since they don't have a mouth, but they're predatory, I think they probably like jab you with their claws and like injects acid into you and then drink up your melting fluids. Which sounds pretty awful, really. In fact, let's just make their limbs like kind of tubes with syringes on the end. So kind of nightmarish creatures, really. When going through all the rules and stuff, again, I realized that we can actually only stay here for 5 hours. So we have 5 oxygen pellets and 5 batteries each, and we consume one of these. Each person consumes one of these when our time tracker, which is here, fills up. So after 5 hours, we'll have run out, which means we'll have to leave. We do have oxygen tanks that will let us get back, but we can only actually spend 5 hours at the site. So I guess maybe in the future I want to buy more of these things, because traveling for 2 weeks, getting radiation poisoning, risking death just to spend 5 hours exploring sounds kind of bad. So definitely need to stock up there. Also, we have a twist chance, because we look at the running the game section of the book and skim to whatever it is I'm looking for. Here we go, Game Master Emulation. The kind of basic structure that we'll be following is we establish a scene and then roll the twist die to determine if there is a special event. And the twist is on page 231, I believe. Somewhere around here. Okay, 227. So, yeah, so we roll to see if there is a twist, and it begins at a 1 in 6 chance. At the end of a scene, I ask myself, like, were the characters in control of the situation? And if they were, if they weren't, we adjust the twist. It goes up to a 3 in 6 at maximum. So if if the situation is really bad, potentially we're having like random stuff happen all the time because we're just kind of being beaten into submission by the alien events happening around us. So this whole GM emulation thing with the twist die, and there's also a kind of table for answering questions based on how likely things are, and there's some notes about like story threads and things. It all feels kind of like Mythic light. Mythic, of course, being like the huge, well-known game master emulation tool. This kind of, I get the impression that this kind of takes like a inspiration from a few components of Mythic and brings them into the system. So, where we left off last time, we arrived at the facility, Zatho, and it's a spaceship, so we arrived at some sort of like dock thing. Are the twists good or bad? I think, let's see. So we kind of roll 2d8s, one to determine a row, one to determine a column, to see what happens. So it could be something. In fact, let's just roll up one now and see. So let's roll the twist die now and see if we get a 1 in 6. No. Okay, well, I'll just roll up a twist and we'll see what happens. So we'll interpret the red d8 as the row and the black d8 as the column. So, hang on, it's not a d8 for the column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Possibly, yeah. Oh, does this? No, this doesn't spread over multiple pages. Why does it say 2 d8s? Roll a d8 for the column and another for the row. This definitely doesn't have like eight columns. Let's check the physical book to see if that's any difference. I mean, I can of course roll the appropriate number, but it's weird that it would have an error there. Oh, there's a heading that's missing. Is there just? I think there's text here that's not showing up because looking in the book, yeah. So we have the first one is the descriptor. Then we have 1 or 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8. So it's a D8 and a D4 pretty much to determine what's going on. I wonder why the PDF is like this. Like there's actually text there. And it is the right text. Okay, so it's just the text color in the PDF is wrong in this heading for whatever reason. Okay, anyway, I think I said red was row and black was column, maybe? So that would be something in the environment. Something unnatural in the environment. And we got some suggestions of what that means. So environment, an event relating to your surroundings, often a sudden change of weather, or unexpected depressurization. So I think they're most likely going to be bad. Knowledge could be a good one. You find something secret or hidden or do some research or whatever. But they mostly look bad. So that's what can happen if we're not in control of the situation. Right, so we have arrived at some sort of space dock thing. In our ship, it's, I think, completely deserted other than our ship. No working Arsath ships have ever been found on any visited sites. And so we disembark. Let's... I made a little cheat sheet of the required pages, so next one. I think I said the scene was that, or what it looked like was kind of large open docking space with like corridors leading off, and there was like a big blood stain on the ground. I think I've probably rolled on some of these random tables already, but I'll do it again. There was a big like old dried blood stain on the ground, leading to a vent as if something had been dragged there. And when we stepped out of the ship, some sort of like machine unfolded from the ceiling and scanned us and then kind of folded back up. So that's somewhat off-putting. So the first thing we need to do is we need to roll an activity check, which is a D10. And on a 1 or a 2, we will have an encounter with one of the known threats. These are things that show up all over the place in Arsath space, in addition to the site-specific threats we can encounter, which are just these swarms of acid-blooded predatory synthetics. So we got a 3, so we do not have a known threat ambush us. And then we need to roll the site exploration chart, which I feel like I probably did, but we'll do it again. This is probably where the scanning came from, but whatever. It's fun to roll on random tables. I got a 1, which is an encounter. The crew runs into something. This is really good news. Okay. I guess the synthetics are making a sudden appearance. Let's start noting some stuff down over... Did I make a little place to type things? No, I didn't. Okay. Let's little text box over. Actually, there's notes on all these bits of paper. Not very much though. Let's start noting something down here. Let's have text we can actually read. Green, nice and sci-fi. And did I pick a particularly sci-fi font for things? Yeah, go for this style of text. Nice and big and green. Okay, right. So we'll put this here. Make this nice and wide. I'll just start putting some notes in here. So, area 1, docs. Oh, it also suggests we draw a kind of schematic map. So I guess I'll do that like up. So just like we're not gonna be like mapping the space exactly. So let's just go for kind of boxes with lines connecting them. So this is going to be area 1. I'll just make all of our rooms look like this. We'll have lines and arrows between them. Okay, area 1, docks. And so we could indicate this is like the entrance with like a arrow pointing into it. Or maybe the fact that it's area 1 makes that kind of obvious. Whatever. This is our entrance. So area 1, docks. We have an encounter. Rarely good news. That's unfortunate. Okay, the first thing you must do is determine exactly what you're encountering. So we've rolled up. We know there's only one possible encounter here. So that's what we're going to encounter. There's some optional rules about variable difficulty. Let's just go with the base rules. Okay, turn to the antagonist chapter. Let's open that in a new copy. Right, we have created antagonists. So this is all about creating. Maybe I want to return to the combat rules, actually. Okay, got something about morale that could be useful. Let's keep that up, and let's have another tab look at the combat rules. Okay, if any PC is being stealthy, we are not being stealthy. We have literally just stepped off our spaceship. So, reaction. Almost everything the PCs encounter during their travels will attack on sight, but there is always a chance, however small, they get lucky. Roll a d10. On a 1 to 8, the creature attacks. On a 9 to 10, the creature ignores the party and leaves the area. 5, the creature attacks. We want a battle map. So we have a choice. We can use one of the pre-existing ones, or we can go for... I didn't even copy the... Ah, there we go. We've got the blank battle map as well. Let's see. Alien facilities. Do any of these look... Maybe facility 2 could be like a docking space. Like maybe we haven't been ambushed as soon as we've set foot off the ship. Maybe we've kind of like moved. Maybe like our ship kind of arrived in like a... let's draw some things. We got kind of like pods that the ships come into, perhaps, that are open to space with like cool alien shimmery force fields across the front, so you can fly through and it keeps atmosphere inside. And there's like a corridor connecting all these things, and we've kind of come through there, and we're now in this like large space, perhaps. In which case, like Facility 2 or Facility 3 could make sense if we've gone through some doors and stuff. Yeah, we're all in like the same area, so it's the docks. It's not necessarily part of it. So let's copy this over. Let's put it. It's just a temporary thing while we fight the guys. Let's put it here. Okay, randomly place cover or identify the pre-existing map's cover. I guess. Let's just highlight this cover in red because I like the blue, but it's also nice just to be able to. Things are a little bit more different. We've got like walls, like here. No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so we've got our cover. Determine position. Okay, we have a summary of combat, which we will look through shortly. I see. We distinguish between full cover and partial cover. I guess these like walls, they look pretty solid. They're probably full cover, whereas these things here, these like around here and at the sides here, these might be like, I don't know. They're less. They're more dim. So I think these are probably not full cover. They might be, I don't know, like storage things that you can kind of look over the top of or something. They'll probably be like half cover, let's say. Okay, placing the character. So we need to roll to determine which side we arrive on. And for surprise. Okay. Okay, so 5. Opponents are surprised. Ah, that's nice. Okay. So we arrive on side 4, the west. Both groups must be placed in this. Okay, combatants are placing the first hex row on their side. If the first is full, place on the second, and so forth. Okay, let's copy over our tokens. So we got 5 people. I think there's 5 enemies as well. Yes, they come in groups of 5. 5 swarms. Right, yes. Yes, these are swarms. So I guess like the swarm as a whole is human-sized, but it's probably made up of many small lizardy things. Just kind of like coming in this like corridor bit here. Let's also number our people. So I can be, I guess let's go with this order. So I'll be 1. And we have 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's actually roll for the order we get. Otherwise, I'm at the back, but I'm the leader. I should be at the front. Okay. Okay, I've got 4. 6. We don't have a 6. Let's call that 5. 1. Okay, I'm kind of in the middle of the group, I guess. 3. 2. We're too new to this. We probably don't have like a good marching order that prioritizes people based on how squishy they are or whatever. We're just moving in a group. And the enemies are coming in at the east. Okay, so if we're surprising them, they're probably not like right over here. They're probably maybe like down here. Okay, so let's put them like bottom east. Maybe they're even in the space already. Yeah, let's go over here. Let's say they're like this. Okay, surprise. If one side surprises another, they gain a +2 to their initiative. Okay. The PCs have surprise, you can roll to see what the thing is doing. Resting or eating? Maybe eating. Maybe they're like dissolving some machinery with their weird little bendy limbs that have syringes on the end that inject acid and suck things up. Okay, each combatant rolls a d10. So am I going to have to roll 10 d10 to determine the combat order? Okay. Would it massively break if I just did side-based initiative? I suppose I should do it the right way at least once. Okay, let's roll lots of initiative. So what is it? D10 plus speed if applicable. Is it applicable? I don't think I have a speed. I think speed might just be an enemy. Oh, is speed a skill? No. Okay, speed comes from gear, talents, and inherent abilities. I've not noted down what the talents do, so fortunately I have a fourth copy of the book open. Let's see, talents. I think hacking probably does not grant me a speed boost. No. Nikita is fast, that probably does grant a speed boost. Fast feet, I suppose. Okay, so automatically passes escape checks. We have targeted strike. Pack mule and field. Okay, so none of those are going to increase speed. What about our enemies? What are these things like? Where's our creature index? Okay, so we sure we had another. Oh, here we go. I'm just completely blind. Does this have speed? Doesn't say so, so I think probably not. Okay, I think it's just D10 for everyone then. All right, let's roll some D10s. Roll. I can roll 5 in one go. Okay, for the players, we've got 5, 7, 5. 5, 6. Then for the enemies, 8, 10, 8, 3, 5. Okay, and then we presumably act in descending order. So let's just sort these. Ten, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 5, 5, and 3. Okay, so the enemies do have the slight advantage in the initiative here, but we're surprising them. Oh, I get a +2 to initiative because I'm surprising them. The pieces have surprise. It's a +2 to their initiative. Okay, so I need to actually bump up all the players' initiatives by 2. Right, so I've got a 9 here. Let's put this 8 first because it's a surprising 8. Okay, so it's not so bad. Right, so we have actions we can do on our turn. I'm going to ignore the optional rule here. We can move once per round. 1 hex per round. You can move before or after. But I guess we can't split because you can't move twice. Okay, so for weapons, we have a variety of guns. Oh, hang on, I've got extra oxygen pellets. I can stay for more than 5 hours. Everyone has 10 ox. Do I have any oxygen pellets on me, though? My character is the fool that didn't bring spare oxygen pellets, but we could share. We can share. So can stay for more than 5 hours if need be. Okay, I think we want to go for a ranged combat. Because we're on the opposite side of the room and I don't really want to attack swarms of acid-blooded things physically. When attacking a swarm, don't roll hit location. All damage gets +1. Nice, nice. Do we have weapon range? Let's have a look. Let's see, guns. Got a Fire Slinger GL. Let's see what that does. Range 7-4. Okay, we do have range. It also has a bunch of traits I'll need to refer to. This combat's probably going to take a significant chunk of the session. Okay, how does range work? Maximum range expressed in hexes. But then why does it have 2 ranges? Oh, it has 2 different firing modes. So the normal mode is a range of 7 hexes and it does 1d10 damage. The alternative mode is a range of 4 hexes and it does 1d10 plus 10. Okay. Okay. Right, so character... Enemy 2 is going first. I guess they don't... I guess that they're not unaware of us. We just got a bonus to initiative. So I guess, yes, we know what they do. We know that they close the gap as fast as possible and rush to surround their targets. I guess they can only move 1 hex, though. Just going to quickly look at the enemy description, just in case it mentions anything special about swarms that I've not copied down. So it's an elite swarm. And its abilities are acid, blood, and tough. Yep. Swarmers can move twice per turn. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to close the gap as fast as possible and rush to surround us. So, enemy number 2, it will spot us and move 2 hexes towards us. Player 2 is fortunately in front. I guess this guy will have half cover because there's something in between us that gives half cover. How far is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like 7 hexes away. And this is Nikita, who has the Fire Slinger GL, which has a range of 7. Okay. It's a 2-handed burst slow explosive weapon. So 2-handed is pretty self-explanatory. Burst means it lets the user reroll damage, but there's a 1 in 4 chance of wasting ammo. How much ammo do I have? I guess I have whatever a standard ammo pack is. I'll keep track of how many shots I fired and work out ammo after the fight. Okay. And it's slow as fire every other round, I assume. Yeah. Okay, let's turn to back to combat and work out of ranged attack. So we probably want to move up one because we're quite far away. So yeah, we'll move 1 hex forward. Yep, that's the grid. Nice. Later on. Combat resolution. Okay, ranged combat. The attacker rolls to attack while the target rolls dex. So this thing has a dex of 14. So this system is d20 plus your thing. And she has a so for ranged combat, she would also roll dexterity, which is 12. So it has a dex of 14, she has a dex of 12, and 20 is the target number. Okay, well, she missed. So I guess okay, if there's a tie, the combatant with the highest attribute or skill value wins. Okay, I think it's just a miss because she didn't hit the 20 to attack. So I'm just gonna note down like -1 ammo. And I'll work out how much ammo everyone should actually have afterwards. Okay, so that was the first one. Then player 2 acted. Then we have player 5, who is also going to move up. I'm sure they can fire over player 2's shoulder. Player 5, what weapon do they have? This is Miesha, who has no weapon, actually. Okay. Oh, we have ammo. It's right here. Okay, right. So that's a 9. Completely blind. Okay, Miesha is not going to move up then because Miesha doesn't have a ranged weapon. Okay, now it's enemies. So enemy 1 and enemy 3. Boop, boop, boop. But you can move through your a friend space. Boop, boop. There we go. And then moving to close, then we have player 1, 3, and 4. I guess they can act in any order because they're on the same initiative. So let's have 3, 1, 4. So all move up 1 space, and 3 is going to fire at enemy 1, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes away. That's Myrtis, who has a carbine. Does that have the range? Yes, it does have the range. Okay, powerful. Nice. What does powerful mean for a weapon? I think I'll use the burst mode on this as well. The user can perform a heavy attack. Oh, there's a list of things you can do I totally forgot about. Okay. Right, yes, let's go for a heavy attack then. Go for a heavy attack with a burst fire, so we'll get plus d6 damage and we can reroll damage. But the chance of wasting some ammo. And her dex, or their dex, I guess, because Myrtis is androgynous, is a 10. Okay. Right, so just opposed dex rolls again. Nope, that's a miss. Okay, let's roll a d4 to see if wasted ammo. Nope. So just one ammo gone. Then who else have we got? Okay, I got 1. So 3 is just acted. 1 and 4 to go. 4 is Zhao, who has the Fire Slinger. It's pretty far away, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe. Yep, 7. Okay. Because I'll fire this in burst mode as well. And Zhao's dexterity. Does everyone have a 10 dex? No, Nikita has a 12 dexterity. That's slightly better. Okay, that's a hit, but also a successful defend. And I think the yeah, if there's a tie, the combatant with the highest. Okay, it's roll high, so they both succeeded, but the enemy rolled higher, so the enemy dodges. So let's mark off an ammo here. I hope I don't spend like an hour and a half fighting a swarm, which then immediately kills me. And finally, just got me. I have an AWS. Is that a pistol? Did I pick up a pistol like a fool? No, I did not pick up a pistol. I'm not that dumb. It's a rifle. The range of 10. I think I'm within 10 hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Okay, and this also has but it also has full auto. That let me do multiple shots. User can take suppressive fire. Okay, what does suppressive fire do? It's not in that list. Does it have a page reference? No. Suppressive fire. Okay. Instead of targeting, I can spend 10 stamina to determine enemy action within 3 hexes. Any combatant who enters the suppressed area instantly suffers the weapon's damage. Okay, that's pretty good. So, I could there's a whole bunch of things we can do. All right, suppressive fire might be good if I suppress. I could suppress this whole horizontal part here for a round. Then the enemies will keep charging in and they'll get hit. Let's do that. So let's suppress these 3 hexes here. So this costs 1 ammo. Do I have ammo? Surely I didn't pick up ammo. Okay, I'm just gonna say that I picked up ammo because it's stupid buying a gun and not picking up ammo. Miesha doesn't have a gun. I'll take Miesha's ammo. There we go. Okay, I think that's all the PCs. So it's now the enemies 5 and 4. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Nice, all in a nice line. All right, round 2. I think that's all that I don't think we reroll initiative or anything. Let's just have a look. Oh, okay. So they can also what is their defense? Their defense is 0 to start with. Okay. Okay, right. So yeah, I don't think anything special happens. I think we just move on to the next round. Yeah. It doesn't mention anything like re-rolling here. Yes, in fact, yes, we keep initiatives. So this order of action is maintained unless otherwise specified. All right, so next round comes around, so someone gets to act first. Enemy 2 acts first. Boop, boop. They're going to charge into here and be suppressed, so that will deal the weapons damage. double check that. Okay, spend 10 stamina to deter enemy action within three hexes in the weapon's range. Any combatant who enters a suppressed hexes instantly suffers the weapon's damage. It doesn't say that they get to like dodge or anything. They just take the damage. So my damage is 1d10, and the enemy doesn't appear to have anything that they're tough. What does tough mean? I'm gonna need to open like a 5th copy of the rulebook. There's so many things to reference. Here we go. Okay, tough. Okay, it's immune to critical hits. That's not relevant here. So I need to roll my d10 damage, and then all we really care about is whether it beats their con, if I recall correctly. Eight. No, in fact, I'm never going to beat their con with a d10. Surely that can't be right. Damage. All PCs have a base damage of d10 plus their weapons damage. Okay, so I'm actually dealing 2d10 damage. 9. Okay. Alright, fine. If the damage total exceeds the target's con, the target is knocked down. They can only move 1 hex per turn. They cannot spend any stamina. If they're hit while knocked down, they receive a wound. Okay, so I failed to roll a... it says exceed, so I failed to roll a 13 or higher, so I did not actually hurt it with this suppressor fire. Damage is kind of all or nothing in this system. There's no hit points. Right, so that was so enemy 2. Now I have player 2. He's going to shoot at enemy 2, I think. Unless they had a slow weapon, right? That's a fire slinger GL. Is that a slow weapon? If it is, they can't fire. It's slow, they can't fire. Okay. So can't attack. Is there anything useful I can do if I can't attack? I guess this means I need melee weapons. I can adjust my initiative by 1. Okay. Okay, right. Player 2 is going to spend all their stamina, their 10 stamina this round, to boost their initiative by 2, which will put them up to 11. They can act first in the round. Right, so then we come to player 5, who doesn't have a doesn't have a weapon, so it's going to move back, I guess. Then we have enemies 1 and 3. So enemy 1 is going to be suppressed here. I got an 11. And they're going to keep moving unsuppressed. Now we have... I'm going to have player 1 go last here because... enemy 5 isn't going to get to move into the suppressed zone. Oh, enemy 3 gets to act as well. And they're not quite in the suppressed zone. I should have picked this hex here. Oh well. Okay, player 1. Let's fire at enemy 1. I don't believe I had a slow weapon, but I could be wrong. It's not slow. Okay, let's go for the burst fire mode. Okay, I've got a 22. My dex is a 12, I think. It's not dex, it's my ranged combat, which is a 10. Okay, so I got a 20 to hit. And it got a 6 plus... it got a 20 to defend. We tied. Which I think it says the one with the higher skill wins. Yeah, so it has a 14, I have a 10, so it dodges. That's a pain. These things are going to be pretty hard to hit, I guess. I potentially wasted some ammo as well, because I did burst. Nope, so I just wasted 1 point of ammo there. I think we might die in this very first combat. Okay, so that was player one's turn. Next we got 3 and 4. 4 can move up, and then they're both gonna try firing at enemy 1 here. So if they can actually. So let's see who's got. So Zhao cannot fire because he's got a slow weapon. Can Myrtis? Is the carbine a slow weapon? Nope. Okay. So gonna fire in with burst mode with the carbine. Okay, that's a 24 to hit and a 21 to defend. So I rolled higher. Okay. If the attacker right, yes. So you need to succeed on your roll and roll higher than what the enemy, or rather, yes, that is right because the target was always 20. You need to succeed on your roll and also roll higher than what the enemy got. If you succeed on your roll, but you tie with the enemy, the one with the higher skill wins. So because I've rolled higher, the fact that the enemy also succeeded here doesn't matter. So that's going to be a hit. So, I forgot that this said damage is increased by +1 for swarms. I don't think that mattered in any of the rolls, though. But it means I'm rolling a d10 plus 5 plus 1. So d10 plus 6, and I can re-roll the d10 because I've gone for burst mode. 9, that's pretty good. I also need to roll, see if I wasted some ammo there. Yes, I did waste some ammo, so I spent 2 ammo on this. Okay, I got a 9. That's a pretty good number to roll on a d10. So that's 15, which does beat the enemy's con because I have a 12 con, so it is knocked down. Oh, it has armor. How does armor work? Does that just... Is armor just subtracted from the damage? Armor. Yes. Okay, so I didn't actually hurt it. Okay, so it's got 12 con. Hang on. Okay, so I got a 15 for my damage. -4 gets down to 11. I need to beat its con, so I need to do at least 13 damage. Which means I need to somehow get a 17 on a d10 plus 6. Which obviously is not possible. So the carbine is incapable of hurting these things. What about the fire slinger? Is that capable of hurting them? So I guess I have to use this in like grenade launching mode. Could I have used it in grenade launching mode this round? I could. For the sake of learning the system and not being killed immediately, let's say I use this in grenade launching mode. In which case I did hit. This is totally legit and fine. Okay, I did hit enemy 1, and I did beat its con. Okay, so enemy 1 is knocked down. Let's rotate its token to indicate that it is knocked down. Okay, so that was character 3 here. Character 1 has already acted. Character 4 still needs to act. 1, 2, 3. I said they were all attacking the same one. Oh, but Zhao cannot attack because his weapon is slow. Okay. Now it's up to enemy 5. And then 4. Okay. So that suppressive fire zone has now worn off. And we are at another round. So player 2 goes first. It probably makes sense to focus on enemy 1 here if we can because so can they attack while downed? They have to roll. If the damage total exceeds the target's con, they are knocked down. They can only move 1 hex per turn, cannot spend any stamps, so they can't attack when they're knocked down. Okay. Oh, but they're much easier to kill, so to knock them down, you need to roll damage that beats their con. But when they're knocked down, it just says if they're hit, they receive a wound. So 2 shots could potentially finish off enemy 1 here. To get back up, it needs to pass a will check, and its will is 12, so it's actually quite likely to do that. So I think I probably do want to focus on taking enemy 1 out before it can act. So players 2 and 5. Player 5 doesn't have a weapon. Okay. Guess player 2 should attack enemy 1 to hopefully give it a wound. Then enemy 2 will move up. Enemy 1 will stand up and move up. And enemy 3 will move up, and we've got acid-blooded synthetics right in our face. Okay, let's try to shoot enemy 1 here. So, I guess it still gets to roll to dodge. But I just need to hit it, I don't need to beat its con. Okay, well, it dodged. So it's like on the floor. What does it look like? It's a swarm of things. There's this like just collection of like tiny little like synthetic lizards. It's like swarming around on the ground. They've been like scattered by the explosion of this grenade, like slowly regrouping, and they just kind of like dodge the hail of bullets, like slamming into the ground, like just like gaps open between the lizards as like where the bullets hit. Enemy 2 moves up. Enemy 3 moves up. Enemy 1 makes a will check to stand up. And stands up really well. I think that's all it can do, though. I can move a hex as well. Okay. When an enemy recovers from being knocked down, roll a d6 to determine their recovery status. Okay. 3. Cornered. Okay, so this one is feeling cornered, which affects its stats. +5 to its attack skill. Okay. Cornered. Just group these together. Right, and I guess to move a hex as well. There's also morale thing, which I had open somewhere. Enemy morale. Right, so when their first ally is killed, or when fighting against an impossible foe, when knocked down, they will accept the roll's result if they recover. So it needs to make a morale check. We have, okay, a roll for humanoids. What do we roll for morale? Pass a will check. So this is will -2. It failed. It failed that morale check. Which means it's going to do one of these things. 2. Ceases to attack for D4 rounds while it cowers in fear. Okay. Let's just put a little note here. It is cowering for 2 rounds. In that case, I guess it's not moving. It's just going to kind of clamber back up. It'll like right itself. But then it is cowering for 2 rounds. Okay, good to know. Good to know. I think that's those 3 enemies dealt with. Now we have players 1, 3, and 4 who get to act. Okay, 3 is well, let's do it in order. So 1 is me. I have my AWNS. I will need to copy these weapon stats into the whiteboard, assuming that I don't die in this first fight. Okay. I guess I'll use the burst fire mode because the full auto suppressive fire was not useful at all. So I'll burst fire on one of the enemies. It doesn't really matter which. Nope, I got a 17, so it dodged. So that's 1 armor gone here. 1 ammo gone here. Then we have 3 and 4. These guys can both attack. Let's go for enemy number 2. Definite miss. Ooh, a 17. I guess I'm doing them in order, so that would be 4. Has hit. What? That's Zhao. Zhao here to save the day. With his fire slinger GL. Okay. Which I guess he's using in like. Is that the grenade one? It is the grenade one. Okay, cool. Let's just mark off some ammo. Zhao with his like lucky old coin is gonna die first, I guess. Probably. Okay, so this is 2d10 plus 10 damage. That's pretty good. Uh, 20, which drops down to 16 because of the armor, but that's still enough to beat its con. So this one gets knocked over, and we need to roll morale for it. I think it passed that. Yeah. Okay, so it is on the ground, but not out. Now we have enemies 5 and 4 who get to act. Okay. Right, next round. Okay. This is really not looking good. I think we want to fire at. Half my people can't fire, can they? Because of the slow weapons. Nikita can't fire, and Zhao can't fire. Okay. It's only Murtis and myself who can. So P1 and P3 can attack. Oh, great. Okay, so enemy 2 is going to get up. Oh, needs to make a roll to do that. I can't just do that. What am I talking about? Okay, it just does that. So enemy 2 gets up and moves up. Then we have P5 is already at the back here. Enemies 1 and 3. So he's still cowering. Enemy 1 is still cowering for one more round, but enemy 3 is going to move up and attack someone. Let's pick at random. Okay, it's going to attack number 3 here. So let's see how enemy attacking works. Enemy combat resolution. Okay. Oh, if they get back up, they have disadvantage on all rolls for the rest of combat. Okay. So put it on their side to indicate that. Yeah. Okay, that might have affected something, I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess this guy would have had a disadvantage on his defense, actually, so 2. Ooh. Okay, so he's here and he gets hit before he gets up, I think. Let's see, P2. Fasting a GL. I've confused myself with what's going on. I think he maybe got hit and got wounded. He's going to get up and move over here. So let's indicate we have 1 wound here. Okay, right. Oh. Except for synthetics, which acts normally. Right, thank you. So everything is as it was. Synthetics are not phased by being knocked down. Right, so when an NPC combatant makes their first attack, I've already decided who they're going for because their behavior is to close the gap as fast as possible, rushing forward to surround its target. So just going for the first person, I think. Which I said is going to be number 3 here. Right, yes, I need to roll for how this guy is affected by getting knocked down. 1, he is bloodied. Bloodied, not blooded. Which means he has +2 defense. Okay. I guess enemies have an attack skill of +4. But what do I actually roll for its attack? I guess it's probably strength plus attack, but let's see. Yes, drive is predation, and insatiable hunger pushes this creature to devour almost anything it comes across. It lives for the hunt. A predator creature will stop to devour any fallen character instead of dealing with other potential threats unless it's attacked. So that's good to know. If it kills, who's it going for? If it kills Myrtus, then it will stop to eat Myrtus, and the rest can maybe do something. Maybe we run away. I don't know. Acid blood. Each time the creature receives damage, it deals d20 to any character within melee range, and a 50% chance to destroy a piece of their equipped gear. So you really don't want to be fighting these guys up close. Um, but how do you determine their attack roll? Like, it's not going to attack with a. I mean, okay, it's close combat, so it's going to be strength, I suppose. Let's go with that. So it's going to attack with strength plus force. It is rolling an 18 D20. Yes. D20 plus 18, aiming to get a 20 or higher. That can't be right. That's way too much. Let's go back to the. I don't know, we've got an example here. Let's have a look. Okay. Okay, so enemies do just use the attack skill. So they're going to be rolling with smaller to hit modifiers than player characters generally, which is odd. But that's okay. Right. So both missed then. We also have armor, I think. Oh, hang on. Emilia rolls a 12 plus 8 from her close combat skill, scoring a 20. Despite being on the defensive, she scores a hit. Oh, have I been doing this wrong? Is the winner of the roll the one who deals damage, even if you're the defender? Right, okay, that's how it works in close combat. The attacker gets a bonus of +2. Okay, well, that's still not enough for the enemy to hit. Okay, I think nothing happened in that attack. Right, so now players 1, 3, and 4 get to act. Let's start backing up. I need to disengage from melee, I think. I think there's like a attack of... yeah, disengage. Okay, let's try to disengage and step back. So it's an opposed dex check for player 3. Got a 16 and a 19. Okay, so 14. And player 3 is a 10. Yeah, okay, that is not successful. I don't want to have 2 attacks of opportunities, so I guess player 3 will remain there, but then players 1, 3, and 4, all of whom I think can attack now, are going to go for enemy 2. Start with player 1 using burst. No, I'm not going to use burst fire because I'm starting to run low on ammo. 16. Enemy also got a 16. I have a 10 plus 10 to hit. The enemy has a plus 14 to dodge, so that's a miss. And I lose 1 ammo. Let's have a quick look at the weapon. Make sure I don't get like some sort of special. No, none of them have like a to hit bonus or anything. It's just based on your skill. Okay. Right, so that was 1. Now let's go for 3. who has a dex of 10. Nope. I think you also have a penalty for firing at a target in melee range anyway. And now for 4, Zhao. Okay. Zhao does it. So the enemy rolled a 1 to dodge, which is a 15 total. Zhao rolled a 19 to hit, which is a 29 total. And he is doing... it's the 5 things that he's doing grenade mode. Because it's the only hope. Where is it? There we go. Okay. 2d10 plus 10 damage. $16, which is enough. Oh, hang on. Bloodied means he gets an extra 2 defense. That's still fine. Okay, so let's say I'm going for this guy. Oops, I locked that. I didn't mean to lock that. I meant to... Oops. Let's lock this. I meant to group. There we go. Okay, so he's gonna hit this guy, and he gets knocked down again. And also he is damaged, so he's gonna splash everyone in melee range with acid blood. See how much damage the acid blood does. D20 damage. Okay, so Zhao kind of like raises his gun and pulls the trigger. A grenade comes flying out and hits, like lands amidst these this like swarm of synthetic lizards and just explodes, sending lizard guts and acid all over whoever character 3 is. All over poor Myrtis. 9 damage. Okay, that's not above Myrtis's con, so that's fine. It's just really painful. It has a 50% chance to destroy a piece of their equipped gear. Oh, that's really bad. Okay. Nope, we're fine. Okay, Myrtis is now, I guess, middle-aged, androgynous, and horribly scarred from acid burns. Okay. Right, so that was this. Oh, enemy 5. It's to move up and it's gonna attack player 2, Nikita. Okay. I think that's a hit, possibly. No, because I have the plus 1. Okay, that's a miss. Okay. And then finally we have enemy 4. Okay, I think retreat is the better part of valor here. I believe to retreat all we need to do is just leave the edge of the map. Let's just check that. Escaping combat, if you exit the area from any side of the combat grid. So 5, 1, and 4 can all escape at the beginning of next round, but actually they might want to... Okay, 5 should leave. Yes, player 5 should leave because they don't have any ranged weapons. In fact, they don't have any weapons at all. Why did I bring a guy who doesn't have weapons? That was such a dumb move. He doesn't even have a knife. What's he going to do? Punch the enemy? Okay, so 5 should definitely move, and 1 and 4 should maybe... Can they fire? Who can fire? Can 4 fire? Zhao cannot fire, so Zhao... So 1 and 5... Sorry, no. 5 and 4 should move. They should leave the map. And then 1 can kind of... maybe like put down some suppressing fire here to help 2 and 3 retreats. I don't know. But it is player 2's turn. They have to make an opposed dex roll. And that's not going to do it, but I think we need to retreat. So they're going to retreat, which means an attack of opportunity from these two guys each. So let's check my... I believe I can use stamina to make it harder to hit me. Also, I have armor, rather. Okay, defensive maneuvers. Is that this? Possibly? It says variable C below. Can I like just bend it to make myself harder to hit, perhaps? I think I can, yes. So it doesn't directly say what defensive maneuvers are, but it says if an enemy has a defense stat, they can subtract that many points from the attack rolls. In the same way, PCs use stamina for defensive maneuvers. So I think I can just spend a number of points of stamina to make myself harder to hit. So I've tried to retreat, which I don't think costs stamina. I think it's just kind of something you do as part of your move. Yeah, it doesn't say it costs stamina, so let's see who's moving, and can they fire? Player 2 is moving. That's Nikita, who has the fire slinger. So Nikita cannot fire this round, I don't think. So I'm going to spend. Well, I'll be attacked first, and then I will spend stamina to evade the first attack, I guess. So let's say I'm being attacked by enemy 5. Their skill to attack me is a 4. Okay, I don't need to do anything. That they miss me. Then for enemy 3. Okay, they got a 21. I got a 15. And what exactly am I rolling here? I'm also rolling to attack, unless the attack of opportunity is different. Just have a quick look. Oh, okay. If they fail, they can still move away, but all enemies in the melee will perform an attack of opportunity that hits automatically. Okay, so I'm just going to be hit unavoidably. I don't think I want to move in that case. That's really bad. Okay, we'll stay there. But if I stay there, let's move and just be hit. So we're gonna just take some damage, but we have armor. It's fine. So it's D10 damage, and are any of them in special conditions? Nope. Okay. And remember, this damage needs to be higher than our constitution to actually matter. Which is never going to be if it's a D10. Do they also have a D10 plus D10? Let's have a look. It's probably going to be in the combat section, isn't it? Okay. Okay, I need to determine the hit location first. Let's interpret this D10 as a hit location. The torso, which gives +1 damage. I have armor, though. I have KSA body armor. Let's look that up. KSA personal body armor is, I guess I'm wearing my helmet, so that's going to be 3. And it does protect the torso. So the enemy is dealing 2 less damage because they have a +1 for hitting me in the torso, but a -3 because of the armor. Okay, PCs can spend stamina to dodge and parry, but I guess not in an attack of opportunities because it hits automatically. But then damage. How much damage does the creature do? It can't be D10 damage because that means it's not going to be enough to actually knock me down. Okay, so it's determined by its type. So a swarm, it says is D10 damage. I mean, it just can't be D10 damage. Let's go back to the bit about the. Let's go back to the beginning of combat and skim through to see what we're missing here. Actually, I have a handy reference, which is not going to fit nicely on screen there, but let's see. Combat. Okay, I've been forgetting this attacker adds +2. Oh no, that's for melee only. Damage calculator after applying all modifiers. We know that our total modifier is -2 here, but what's the base damage? Okay, it doesn't say there. So let's just go back to skimming through the beginning of the combat section to try to work this out. I mean, if it is actually D10 damage, then no, it can't be actually D10 damage because then, as I said, it can't actually hurt me. And this is supposed to be an elite encounter, which is supposedly like elite sounds bad, right? So surely it can't be like puny and feeble. Yes, the combat does seem fairly complicated. Okay, combat resolution. So all PCs have a base damage of D10. which would imply, it seems to imply that PCs, that non-PCs do not. Okay, as opposed to PCs, weapons have a single attack skill. Mm-hmm. It just says how they behave. It doesn't say what their damage is, though. Let's have a look at this example. Later in the round, a creature hisses and hits Richard with an attack while he's knocked down. Okay, I want to know what it does, though. Okay, here's a more involved combat encounter. Okay, well, this is an example where the enemy gets a critical hit. Not useful. Okay, so we've got like 3 combat examples. None of them involve an enemy actually rolling damage. It's a little bit of an oversight. Hmm. It must be described in the enemy section, then, surely. So I'm just going to Google this just in case someone has like asked on Reddit or something. How is damage determined and how does armor function? Let's see. Oh, that's talking about how player damage works. I can't find anything on the internet about this. Okay, let's go back to skimming through this. But if I can't find anything, I sort of said that they probably must just do like a base D10 damage, like players do. Because otherwise, if it's actually D10 damage, then okay, they could hurt Nikita and Zhao, but oh, and me actually, I have a puny 7 con. But two of the characters would just actually, because we've got armor as well. So it's only characters who have a con lower than 8, which is Me, my PC is the only one who can actually be hurt by the enemies if it's just a D10 damage, because we all have armor. Um, so like these examples here, we've got like D10 plus 5, D10, D10 plus 5, 2D12, 2D10 plus 5, 3D12, 3D10 plus 5. Those are all like sensible damage numbers. Is it? So it's an elite. Um, let's just look at both these things. So, an elite swarm. Was I supposed to combine two stat blocks and I didn't? It's not sure what this -1d. I think I messed up in creating the. And I've got the bloodied and stuff. Okay, let's reverse engineer this enemy stat block. Let's see what I did here. So it has a +4 attack skill. But then this says plus. Did I just completely mess up this enemy stat block? Okay, so it's an elite. So yeah, we get 14, 14, 12, 12. It's got a human level intelligence that's gone up from 8 and then 0. Have 2 wounds. And then either 4 armor or 4 defense. We got the 4 armor. There's a 15 awareness. I'm not really sure what awareness does. We have our bloodied, cornered, and overwhelmed stuff here. Damage. So I've got a +4 attack and a D10 damage. This is 2D10 plus 5. So that's our base elite stuff. And then moving on to the swarm stuff. I think I didn't do this. Maybe it has a +5 attack skill. So it's actually on a +9 to hit, not a +4. That makes sense because a +4 to hit is really puny. Then it says -1 and then in brackets D10 damage. I'm not really sure what the brackets is there. Oh, is it just -1 D10 damage? Is that what the brackets mean? Okay, we got -6 damage. This is what 2D10 -6. Sorry, -1. Okay, I think that might be it. Okay, so I was playing my swarms just with way lower attack and damage than they should have. Okay, right. So now I have 2 guys at 2d10 -1 attacking player 2 here, which is Nikita, who I think Nikita's about to be torn in half. Okay, let's work out the first one. 2d10 -1, we have got 6 and a 7 -1. That's 12. That beats Nikita's con. So that is a wound, I think. Okay. Right, yes, we'd rolled hit location and armor, so we're on a -2 actually. So we've got a 10, which still beats the con. So Nikita is knocked down by the first attack. Then the second one, that is a 5, so that does not beat the con. But and then if they hit while knocked down, they receive a wound. Okay, so Nikita is knocked down by the first one and then receives a wound from the second. Wounds are on page 74. I think we need to have a certain number of wounds and then we die. How many wounds do these guys have? I think it's 3. Yeah, 3. Okay. So Nikita is now down to 2 wounds. Okay, right. We've got it worked out. So Nikita moved back, but got beaten into the ground. Right, that's the first turn of this combat round done. It should be easier now that we know what we're doing. Okay, enemy 2 is knocked down, so it's going to try to get up. I believe that's enough to get up. And to scramble back onto its horrible little feet and attack character 3 here. It's bloodied, which means it gets more defense. Okay. And this is close combat. Okay, got a 3 to hit. That's pretty bad. Yep, that's a miss. It's attacking character 3. That is Myrtis, but Myrtis doesn't have any melee weapons. Can you punch? Is like punching covered in the weapons, like unarmed? Or is the idea that like no one would be stupid enough to try fighting aliens with their bare hands? Or did everyone get a knife to start with? Let's check the gear. Combat knife. Yeah, okay. Everyone does have a combat knife then. Okay, that's 1d10 damage. Oh, plus 1d10 damage is going to be 2d10 damage. Okay. Okay, that's 17. I believe it has... No, so it has 4 armor, so that's going to be 13. Which does beat its con. So it gets knocked over again. Oh, it's also doing everything at disadvantage, but it failed the roll anyway. So it's knocked over again, and is going to spray acid around it, dealing 15 damage, minus 3 because of the armor. 12 damage is enough to knock down Myrtis. Okay, and then there's a 50-50 chance of destroying some gear. Nope. Okay, so Myrtis is knocked down, though. Right, now player 5 moves off the map. Enemies 1 and 3. I think going to move around to cut off the retreat of player 3. That is now gone. Going to move up. And these two will attack poor Myrtis. Okay, let's start with enemy 3 attacking Myrtis. That is not a hit. And I don't think Myrtis can fight. I don't think Myrtis can. I don't think you can fight back while downed. He said all he could do is, all he can do is move and spend. All he can do is move and gets up to your feet. You can't spend stamina, so you can't attack. That means enemy 1. That's also a miss. Okay. Right, players 1, 3, and 4 now, so... player 3 can try to get up. I think that's a fail, it has to be, as it was a willpower check. Yep, that's a fail, so they don't get up. Okay, they're just going to remain there then, I suppose. And players 1 and 4. I think player... okay, player 1 can try to shoot something and then back off. So player 1 is going to try to shoot enemy 2. I think there's a penalty for firing into melee, though. Targeting an enemy in your melee range has a -2 penalty. Okay, I guess it just has like partial cover because there's a bunch of people in the way. But yes, if it could shoot enemy 2, that would be good because that would wound it. Right, let's try that. It definitely won that roll. Okay, I'll fire and then back off. That's 1 more ammo wasted here. Player 4 is going to try to evade. I think that's a pass. I think, yep, that's a pass. That's enough to win. It's going to move off. So 3 characters will make it out of this fight alive at least. Now, enemy 5 is going to move here and either let's roll for it. Okay, it's character 2. So we got enemies 1, 2, and 3 on character 3, and enemy 5 on character 2. Okay, we got a 16 and a 12. So the enemy got a hit. Barely. The character, they're 16 on... Yeah. Yes, they got a better defense roll, so I think they evaded that. Now enemy 4 comes running up, but actually can't get up to anyone, I don't think. Okay, right. Player 2 is going to try to get to their feet in this next round of combat. And fail. Enemy 2 is going to try to get to their feet. And do it very well. They'll then attempt to eat character 3. I think they do. Hang on, no, that's a 10. So if my thing is a 10, that's a crit success. Who was this? This was character 3. Yeah. Nope, it's my strength is a 12, so that's 22 rather. I think that's no, it's only a nat 20 that's a critical success, not rolling a 20. Okay, so that's a successful hit. So the damage, you need to roll a hit location. 5. That's the arms, so no modifier there. Does the suit protect the arms? No. Okay, so I guess no armor applies to this, so it's just 2d10 minus 1 damage. Okay, that's a 7, which is not higher. Am I downed? I am downed. In that case, any hit inflicts a wound. It doesn't need to beat the con. Okay, so character 3 has another wound. Or their first wound, I guess. Okay, and enemy 5 is attacking character 2. I think that's a successful defend. Okay. Right, let's see. So we've had... yep, so it's now enemy 4, who I don't think can move up to any 1 because everything is occupied. Okay, right. So back around to player 2. Really needs to get up and evade and then just run off the edge of the map. So let's try getting up. 7. I don't think that's going to pass the will check. Nope, that was a 17 on the will. So we could try moving, but then we just get 2 attacks of opportunity, which automatically hits. I think it's our best bet. Gonna try moving back, and then let's roll 2 hit locations, and then roll some damage. Okay, hit locations. We have the back, which deals +2 damage. And the torso, which deals +1 damage. Those are protected by the armor, though. So I think we have 1 attack at -1 damage, and 1 attack at -2 damage. This is the -1 one first. We got a 8, 7. That's not enough. And for the -2, that's also not enough. Okay, so character 2 manages to crawl away. Not off the map yet. It's not looking good for character 3. Okay, enemy 2 is going to attack character 3. I don't think that's a hit. Player 5 is gone. Enemy, let's see if character... No, enemies 1 and 3 get to axe now. First. So enemy 1. Nope. Enemy 3. I think that is a hit. Honestly, I'm mostly checking which die is larger because all the numbers, all the numbers of these are actually in a fairly small range. Okay, so I think that's enemy 3 did hit. So we need to roll a... No, we don't need to roll a hit location or anything because it's a hit and they are downed. So that's going to be just 1 wound to Myrtis. I do not think Myrtis is making it out of this alive. Now Myrtis can attempt to stand up. 13, I think that's a success. Standing up. Yeah, Myrtis stands up. Myrtis can meet their death on their feet, at least, because they can't get out. Because human characters can only move 1 hex, and you can't end a hex in another creature's space. So they're just trapped. They could try to shoot their way through. Yeah, okay, let's try to shoot enemy 3 here. Or maybe lunge at enemy 3 with our combat knife. What's our better skill? Is it range? We get a penalty with ranged if they're in melee range. So this is Myrtis. Myrtis is stronger than they are dexterous. So Myrtis is going to lunge at the swarm with their combat knife. They know that this is it. This is their last chance. And they completely whiff it. Okay, well, Murtis is not going to last the round, I don't think. Okay, right. So now enemies 5 and 4 gets attacked. So 5 is going to attack Murtis. 4 is just kind of hanging out on the outside and not able to get around anyone. Actually, no. Enemy 4 can go chasing after character 2. There we go. But yes, let's have enemy 5 attack Murtis first. That's going to be a miss. And Murtis got a success. So Murtis is going to like spin around screaming and stab some acid-blooded synth with their combat knife for some damage. It was a plus D10, wasn't it? So that's 2D10 minus whatever the armor is. 2D10 minus 4, I think. That's not going to do it. That's not going to beat the con. Okay. Now enemy 4 rather attacks player 2, who is just crawling along feebly, and is going to hit. And so character 2 takes another wound. That's Nikita. Both Nikita and Murtis are now down to only 1 wound left. The next hit they take will kill them. Actually, no, Murtis can take 2 hits because they're standing up. But this poor character here, next hit they take, that is their last. Right. Okay, so next round, character 2, can they stand up? 9. Maybe. No. That's at 19. So they can just crawl off the edge of the map, but probably get killed as they go, because they'll receive an attack of opportunity. Attacks of opportunity hit automatically, so they would die. What can we do to stabilize someone who loses their wounds? During combat, and sometimes outside of it, characters will receive wounds and become injured. They suffer a cumulative -2 to all actions and must roll on the injuries table. I've totally missed that. Okay, once combat is over, you can try to treat a wound. Okay, let's roll for some injuries then. So how many wounds do we have to deal with here? It's just these two. These two have 2 wounds each. Okay, let's do it. Start with Nikita. 7 and 8. A slashed leg. A slashed leg and a banged head, which actually made them miss a turn at one point. So I'll say that they can't axe this round then, because I should have done that earlier. In which case, Nikita is just gonna be killed. Murtis then has a 6 and a 12. Broken ribs. Broken ribs and a superficial wound. Just a cool scar. It's probably from the splashing acid blood that I described previously. It's got like the cool like scar over the face. So here is here's our character, our middle-aged androgynous trained social person who always has a relevant story about one of their uncles. They have a cool scar, which is gonna be the like cool eye scar that just gets the skin, and the eye itself is fine. So they got this sort of thing going on. Okay. Right, so that's their things. Oh, we have critical injuries as well. What does that do? Oh, critical injuries if you roll a 1 on the d20. Okay. Okay. Torn to pieces. All right, so Myrtis, no, not Myrtis. Nikita can't do anything because they are missing a turn. So, yeah, they're just going to stay there. Enemies. Okay, who gets to act? Right, enemies 1 and 3 get to act first. Okay, that's definitely a hit from the enemy. That's higher, I think. Let's check that because that could actually be close. Enemy 1. They've rolled a 19. They're cornered. That means they get +5 attack skill. Okay, enemy 1 definitely won that roll then. So for damage, need to hit location first. 6. That is the torso, which is +1 damage. So with 3 armor, that's going to be -2 overall. We've got a -3 because they've rolled 2d10 -3, so -1 rather. So 2d10 -3 damage. 7. That's not enough to knock them down. And then enemy 3. I think they won that roll. Let's go with that. Need a hit location to the legs. -1 damage. Okay. That's also not higher than the con. So Myrtis is somehow hanging on. Myrtis also has a cumulative -4 in their rolls now. So they're not going to be fighting their way out of here, really. But Myrtis is going to try to fight their way out. They'll try to shoot enemy number 3. Try to stab enemy number 3. That might... No, I'm probably not going to do it, but let's see. Okay, that's a 24, but it has 4 defense, which make it a 20. And it doesn't have any special things going. Okay, that's a success then. So enemy 3 is stabbed in the face by a combat knife, which is exactly what you want to do when you're attacking something with acid for blood. Get really up close and stab it. Doing 2d10 +1 damage. It's a 13. What's its constitution? That's enough to knock this one down. So I need to roll the morale check. Morale, it's here we go. That's a will check with a -2. Okay. It failed, so something is going to happen. The demoralized reaction table. Okay. 1. Panics. Immediately attempts to flee. Oops, I didn't want to copy the whole thing. I just wanted a text box. Okay, well, it's not its turn, so it can't attempt to flee yet. And blood explodes everywhere. Dealing 10 damage, which is not enough, but there's a chance of destroying some gear. Nope. Okay, enemy 3 is down and panicking. Good job, Myrtis. Okay, so that was character. That was player 3. Enemy 5 Enemies 4 and 5 get to axe now, so enemy 5 is going to go for... well, they're going to go for the same ones as usual. So enemy 5. That's an 11 plus 9, which is that's a 20. Okay. Hit location 5. Torso, that is... No, arms, rather. Okay. Not enough. And then enemy 4 is going to attack Nikita, I think it is. But miss. Okay, these characters are lasting longer than I thought they would. I'm probably butchering the combat rules, though. Okay, now, next round, so character 2, can they get up? No, definitely not. They're just going to crawl off the map and be horribly subject to an attack of opportunity, which is going to kill them. But I'm gambling on maybe I can like heal this after the fight. They kind of die just down this corridor. Okay. So Nikita is down to 0 wounds. Let's just have a look at the wounds, actually. Can you treat it if someone drops down to 0, or is that just it? I need to roll for an injury type. Let's see. A PC with 0 max wounds is dead. I think they're just dead. An impaired leg. Slashed. Not only is their leg slashed, it's also impaired. Yep, I think Nikita is just dead. Okay. Which I'm sure is going to give all the surviving characters some stress, but we can get to that later. We'll work out the aftermath of this combat soon enough. Okay. Enemy 2 is going to attack character 3. But miss. Both sides miss. Right, so now we have enemy 1 is going to do the same, sure. Oh, that's definitely a hit. Right in the 10. That's got to be 10. That's got to be head, right? Right in the head, plus 3 damage. Oof, which cancels out the armor from the suits. So it's just 2d10 minus 1 overall. 20 damage. Okay. Just like drops on the ground. That was Mertis' last wound as well. Okay, so it just like lunges at Mertis' head, and it's not a pretty sight. Mertis just goes down. Let's roll for a cool wound. 14. Did I already have 14 for Mertis? It's a slashed ear. That's very fitting. Okay, we've had 2 deaths in our first combat. In the first 10 minutes that we've been at this adventure site, we've not even, like, ticked the time track yet. This is all taking place in the first 10 minutes. Okay. Right. But the rest of the characters managed to make it off the edge of the map, so they're fine. Um. Okay. Right. That's our. It only took two and a quarter hours. But we've got 10 minutes of game time done. Let's have a very brief break, and then we'll get back to work up the aftermath of this combat with two characters dead, and nothing of value found yet by the others. Will they keep? Will they stay here and explore, try to find something to make up this loss? Are they just gonna give up and go home? So we'll find out in a moment. Okay, right. Yes, poor character 2 didn't make it back to the rest of the group. They died too close to the enemies. Right, let's work out what happens after a combat. So time passes. I think we were not in control in this situation. Okay, so time passes. Let's mark off a box here. And I've got my cool X's. Cool green. Nice sci-fi marks. Okay. Right, so let's see. Time. Time. Oh, is there anything at the beginning of... So I guess combat has happened. We have... So we have done combat. And... no one who made it out alive is wounded, I think. Let's have a quick look. Let's cross out the dead. Oh, hang on, we've got a little checkbox for. Let's move over to deceased. Okay. Right, so Zhao is unwounded, Miesha is unwounded. Am I wounded? No. I'm okay. Oh, I have luck. I don't remember what luck does. Maybe it would have been useful to be lucky in this combat. Murtis has a targeted strike thing. I totally forgot what that did. I'm sure it wasn't important. Okay, so, right, nothing will happen until the time fills. I'm sure we must get some stress from this. Facing danger is +2 stress. So everyone's going to get 2 for that. Stress. I think 10 is when bad things start happening. Traumas. Okay. Entering a negative emotional state. Seeing a crew member die, +15 stress. Okay, so everyone gains 30 stress. People are probably rocking back and forth, hugging their knees, saying, "Game over, man, game over." I feel that we've probably entered a negative emotional state. I don't know. That's capitalized. Maybe it's a special thing. Okay, let's see. All right. So, the lowest stress in the group is 39. So 3 stress. The nervous tick starts to appear. 10 stress. They might react negatively to stress. Okay. Let's, okay. I think now is an appropriate time to roll this. We'll see. 15 stress. They perform all actions at -10. 20 stress. They earn a permanent obsession, ideally related to their stressor. Discard all stress and gain 1 trauma. Seeing an ally gain a trauma gives +10. I guess this is all happening like concurrently. Okay, well, let's roll 3 d10s and we'll pick a fun thing that happens to the group with their stress response. Okay, 3, 6, and 9. Isolating or seeking solace. The character withdraws as much as possible, both physically and psychologically. Whether they lock themselves away or grab the nearest bottle of whiskey is up to the player or GM. Become anxious. The character succumbs to anxiety, making things clearly worse for others. Everyone gains 1 stress, and the characters have little help. And becoming uncooperative. The character blames others for their current situation, becoming stubborn and unwilling to cooperate. Okay, let's see. I think becoming uncooperative makes sense for let's see. I think Zhao probably isolates. Let's see. Oh, actually, Zhao is confrontational. I think maybe Zhao becomes uncooperative, blaming us as the team leader for this terrible situation. Okay. I got some notes somewhere. Let's encounter. But I typed this so long ago. Who was it? Nikita and Myrtis. I think I kept mixing up Myrtis and Miesha earlier. So Nikita and Myrtis are torn apart in front of us. So Zhao blames Silas. Someone becomes anxious and someone isolates. I think Miesha becomes anxious, maybe because they can't. Oh no, maybe I become anxious because I have the stress of being team leader. Yeah. So that means Miesha becomes starts isolating. They got a medical kit, right? Maybe they just immediately start abusing whatever's in there. Yeah, medical kit. I'm gonna mark off a medical kit. Actually, I think that's a fun consequence. So Miesha just immediately takes like some sort of sedative. Okay. Tensions are high. And now everyone earns an obsession and discards all their stress. And gains 1 trauma. So we basically have this like crisis. Okay, so the stress reactions go away after losing any amount of stress. I think time is going to pass dealing with this. But let's work out obsessions and traumas. Okay. How do we lose stress? Lash out. Oh, gaining a trauma only reduces 20 stress. Oh no, so we're still going to be very stressed. Hang on. It's a yeah, it says here okay. Okay, so here it says discard all stress, but I guess you're like gaining the stress one thing at a time, like 1 point at a time, which is no, I'm gonna treat it as losing all stress because that's what it says here. Okay, so how do you lose stress? Lashing out, gaining a trauma, arriving at the destination. Oh. In that case, we're not quite so stressed because we should all have been on 0 stress, I think, for arriving. So in that case, we just have the stress from seeing our companions die. So we're actually only on 30 stress each, which is, still enough to trigger all the bad stuff. Actually, I guess we entered a dangerous situation, which is 2 stress, right? So we should all actually be on 32 stress. There we go. Okay. Have a good night's sleep. Not possible during an expedition. Get drunk or take drugs. Well, I said that's what Miesha did, so Miesha's lost 5 stress. Still not enough. Have sex. Minus 10 stress. Meditation. Requires a will check. Have a good workout. Requires a con check. Entering a positive emotional state. Okay, let's have a look at the obsessions. Once characters accumulated 20 stress, they clear their stress but also gain an obsession, a permanent feature of their personality. Nice. Obsessions don't have mechanical consequences but should alter the character's behavior, personal goals, and preferences, making them even more difficult to work with. Okay, so I could roll, or I could just pick something. I think I'm going to roll, and I'll try to flavor it based on the situation. Seeing the deaths of crewmates. If it doesn't fit, then I will just pick something appropriate. Okay, so I've got a 6 for Silas. The Chosen One. They have chosen you. Their secrets have been revealed to you alone. You must learn more, uncover the truth, and others must help you, no matter what. Okay, so this is a truly horrifying situation, but maybe... So Silas's goal coming out here was to, become famous. Make money and become famous for being a diver. Oh, it is 6 all. Oh, nice. Okay. Silas wants it to come out here to make money and become famous and use that to gain power back home. Maybe he's like... Maybe having seen how dangerous it is out here, his very first mission, he's seen 2 people torn apart in front of him. He's like, this is obviously the right choice. If I can overcome this, I will be truly special. This is why successful divers are so famous, because of the horrors they have to go through. And so he just sees this as like affirmation that he's doing the right thing. So let's put this down in his other details. He's obsessed with becoming like a famous team leader. Or famous diver, I suppose. How to interpret this as for the others? Zhao is very principled. Maybe he sees himself as the rock that holds the team together and kind of becomes like stubborn and hard to work with. Because he thinks if he was in charge, this would never have happened. I need to shrink these text boxes. There we go, that fits a little better. Okay, so Zhao's new personality is that they are stubborn and hard to work with, thinks should be in charge and blame Silas for all wrongs. And Miesha, my gut feeling was he needs to become the best medic he can. Like he's obsessed with becoming the best medic he can, so that if this sort of thing happens again, he can save people. Which kind of that's actually this like excellence thing. But I think it fits. I must become the very best medic so nobody dies again. Okay, I think that's my obsessions, and then we have traumas as well. So yeah, I guess the obsessions are just role playing prompts. The traumas, these are the actual like mechanical consequences you get. Okay, 2 5s and a 10. Distracted by shadows, you can't focus on anything. Take -1 perception. Perception for NPCs is willpower. Sure, I guess I can note that down. Okay, so I have -1 perception. about 9. Let's say Zhao is also -1 perception. We have a 10 for Miesha. The stress is, oh my god, the stress is so intense that you suffer a heart attack, pass a con check, or die. Oh my god. This is terrible. Okay, that's a 14. That's fine. Okay. Maybe it was all the drugs Miesha just took. But they're able to not die. Okay, so I'm just going to say that some time passes while we kind of deal with this. I'm going to pass D4 units of time. 3. I think we flee from the site of the encounter, just like as fast as we can, not even looking back. Like we just hear the screams behind us and try to put it out of our minds, and like make our way back to the docking bay where we came in. And I think there's like a big argument outside the ship about whether we should leave or not, with Zhao, who now thinks he is God's gift to organization, saying, like, I think just questioning all the decisions Silas made, like, why did we come to this place? Like, what was it in the mission report that made you choose this place? And Silas is saying it was randomly assigned. I didn't have a choice. It was, pick a random previous explored place. I'll go somewhere new. Who knows what could have happened if we went somewhere new? But that's not sufficient to calm Zhao. Miesha just like clutching his chest and like leaning on like the side of the ship, like breathing heavily. And got a lashing out thing, right? What happens when we lash out? The stress boils over. Yeah, let's have a will check for Zhao. I'll have it with advantage because Zhao is principled. But this is possibly Zhao might just punch Silas in the face. 5. Okay. Zhao punches Silas in the face. And then for Silas, 18. Silas just takes it. Okay, so yeah. Zhao, the principal one, breaks down, punches Silas in the face, and Silas kind of manages to like disarm him, like grab his arms, like hold him behind his back or something, and like reassert his position as the expedition leader, but like creating this like stubborn grudge that Zhao will hold on to for the rest of his life, thinking that if he was in charge, this would never have happened. Miesha just like takes all the drugs in the medical kits, just like sinks down onto the floor and is out of it for a while. And eventually things calm down. Eventually everyone's like breathing heavily. And I guess we kind of come round to the position that we can't turn back now. If we were to turn back now, then we're returning without anything. Like, this is a complete... Not only was this a complete waste of time, but it's also a waste of lives if we don't at least come back with something. I don't know why I use the word scuffle. That's like, there were fisticuffs between Silas and Zhao. There's a brief fight. Silas becomes anxious under the strain of leadership, but still believes, but is like simultaneously reassured that this is the way to become famous. If you can overcome these odds, you can overcome anything. Miesha squanders medical kit by using the drugs and almost has a heart attack. Yeah, I think that kind of covers it. Run away, regroup at the ship. And argue over whether to return. Eventually, the conclusion is... Let's kind of put this all under the encounter. Let's outdent this. Go. Okay, so yes, we have an encounter. Nikita and Mercer torn apart in front of us. We run away. All the bad stuff happens, and eventually we decide to return would be a waste of lives. To return empty-handed, specifically. Waste of lives and time. Okay, then everyone's stress resets after this cathartic screaming and punching and drug using session. Right. Okay. So what are things we can do? We could. I think. Well, not only are the characters feeling wary about heading deeper into this place, I'm feeling wary about heading deeper into this place. So I think we can scavenge the current area. There's a... Okay, must rest every hour or so. I guess we've just done that with our screaming session. Yeah. Okay, I think we can scavenge. And just kind of scavenging an area, which I think takes time and gives us some stuff. Let's find that. After encounters, scavenging alien technology. Sometimes an unlucky crew will find a site almost depleted of data crystals and alloy cubes. Still, even Arsath junk can be of interest to the KSA. An ambitious crew can spend one time and make a single Arsath technology check to scavenge for scrap. I think we're going to do that. We're just going to see what we can find like around here before we risk heading deeper in. So I'm rolling a d20 plus 5. And I want to get a 20 or higher. No. Okay. So we try to play it safe and just like look for stuff around here. Like maybe there's some stuff in this landing bay we can take. Maybe we can just like load up on stuff here and then go home. And we don't need to risk seeing those things again, but we do not manage to do that. The place has probably already been picked clean because a previous crew has been here, so all the easy accessible stuff is gone. That explains it. Okay, and it is with heavy hearts that we all decide we have to go deeper into this place to try to find more stuff so that it's not a complete waste of lives. So we want to move to a new area. Okay, so time track goes up by 1. Oh, it's gonna then reset. So the time track Let's just change this to like, I don't know, like grey or black. Yeah, just light those up when we go through areas. Okay, so the time track has reset, which means we need to roll an activity check to see if something bad happens. So a d10, and if we get a 1 or a 2, we are ambushed by something. 6. Okay, we are not ambushed. That is good, because I don't think I could have fit another combat into 12 minutes. Okay, we need to roll on the site exploration table to see what we get. Also, I should roll for the connector. Like, what do we actually... Oh, it's also locked. Yeah. Okay, right. Let's roll for a connector to see what we pass through. So we venture out into the docks again. And we like cautiously, I think, pass through, or at least peer into the area where the fight was. We don't see the synths anymore. There's like horrible blood stains on the ground, but our crew members have been completely devoured. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, or better or worse than seeing bodies. And after a little while, we find a hallway. Okay, a hallway that seems to connect to another section, because I think we're passing through like suites of rooms and stuff. And the place is in lockdown, so we know this is like a significant corridor because it's got like a big locked door, which I think that means we need to roll like hacking to get through. Let's just have a look. Every single access point is locked. Tech check to open. Okay, so we kind of move through this like docks area, which possibly has like offices. We can't really tell. Possibly has like dwellings. Again, can't really tell. But then we get to like a big, serious-looking corridor. It looks like it leads to another part of the structure, and it is locked. So I will attempt a technology roll. I have my hacking talent. I will look that up, what that does if I fail the roll. Okay, I got a 19. Let's look up what hacking does. Okay, that's hacking RSAF stuff specifically. What about the talent? Hacking. Okay, the hacking talent means you can attempt to hack RSAF talent. Okay, okay. All right. So I guess I failed to like open the door. I've like pushed buttons and tried to like bypass wires, whatever it is people do to break through alien doors, but it was not a success. It is more tightly locked. I need to like properly hack into it. So I plug in my little. Hang on, no, hang on. I have a lockpick. Does it give a bonus to hacking? Maybe I don't need to do this. Lockpick. No, you just need this to. Oh, hang on, page 156. Locked access points. Okay. Some access points and entries will be closed. Roll to determine what sort of door it is. Okay, there's a whole process for locked doors, which I should. I need to go through this. Okay. Right, and you can just keep trying. It just advances the time track as we go. Okay. So let's first determine the door type. It is a flesh door. Okay, a mass of fleshy matter blocks the way with only a valve-like orifice allowing passage through. Squeezing through is not actually difficult, but the experience causes all characters to gain D4 stress. Okay, that's awful. It's probably like horrible synthetic flesh, given the synth theme we got going on. Okay, so also this character is dead now. They don't have their cool scar anymore, so let's just get There we go. Okay, right. So area 2. We don't know what this is yet. We explore the docks fruitlessly, eventually arriving at a horrifying door made of synth flesh that seems to lead to another part of the facility. It is locked. So we have a firewall thing. So we'll go for all the D10s here. So arranging the lower results on the left, that is a 1 on the left, and the higher result, which is a 9, on the right. Attempt to lockpick. The player must guess whether a third D10 will land inside or outside the firewall. Once they guess, roll the D10. If they're correct, they locate the access node and unlock the door. If they're wrong, or the third die matches either firewall number, it remains locked. Okay, so I have a pretty good chance. I think the third D10 is going to be in the middle. It's going to be between 1 and 9. It is 8. Okay, that is in the middle. So I successfully hack the door. So it passes. It takes time. What's behind the door? I guess it just leads to another region. I don't need to roll on this because, yeah. Yes, I know what is beyond it is another place. Okay, so that took some time. Let's mark another time off my where is it? Here we go. Off my time tracker. And I need to then roll to see what sort of place we have found ourselves in. So that's back to page 144. So we've gone through like this large hallway leading to a disgusting flesh door that I've hacked open. And then see what we find. Okay, so we'll roll on the site exploration table and then figure out what sort of room this is. Oops, my die bounced out. That's a 9. Fixed events. Ooh. A clearly defined problem or circumstance for the crew to deal with. Okay. Fixed events. This is a D20. 8. A mix of mud and slime covers this unusually warm room with filth dripping from its walls. In the corner, a pile of what appears to be large eggs shiver slightly. Something stirs inside of each egg. Okay, we found the xenomorph room. Okay, I mean, this is a like bio-containment and research facility, so but the only things still left here are synthetics and the known threats. So maybe the synths are produced in these like weird eggs. So it's not like face hugger eggs, it's more like I'm coming back to like the grey goo or like paperclip maximization scenario I mentioned earlier. Maybe like there's a production facility for these lizard synths that's just kind of like expanded and grown to cover almost the whole facility. And so, oh, these numbers are in the wrong place, I think. I don't know. Okay, so yes, the synth production facility has grown to expand, grown and expands and covers much of the space. Oh, also we all gain default stress for going through the horrifying flesh door. Let's just roll that up. Just give everyone 4 stress. Perfect. Everyone's nervous tick manifests. And we also need to roll the twist as well, but let's flesh out the room. Upon hacking the door, we discover a overgrown synth production facility with pods. I think the eggs are like pods in which they grow the synths. With pods, translucent pods, with like baby small synths growing inside. They look almost ready. We need to roll for a twist. That's 2 in 6 chance now. Nope, that's still fine. Almost ready to hatch, I suppose. I want to know what sort of room this is. So let's go look at, maybe we'll get like a theme for the room. Can't find my D100. 23. Wishes. Wishes. Or possibly 32 location. Wishes location. Maybe there's like a bunch of exits leading from this place. So we've kind of arrived. We've kind of come from the docks, which has like one exit, and we've arrived at like a kind of crossroads place that leads into a bunch of different directions, a bunch of different parts of the facility. So there's several exits we can possibly go down. But the synth production facility is kind of like overgrown, spilled out of where it was originally contained, and has like taken over this place as well. Several corridors lead to other areas. Okay, so this is area 2, the overgrown synth vats. Okay, so we don't have a twist. I think we can't. Obviously, we can't just go through here because otherwise synths will pop out of the eggs and like leap on our faces and weep acid all over us. That's what the fixed event means. Oh, we also need to add it to our map. So I think there's only one exit from the docks. That makes sense to what I've just said. So this is area 2, and yeah, let's have a nice thick green line. And then this will have like other areas coming out of it that we've not been to yet. Possibly more, but yeah, it's just a bunch more areas. Okay, let's say we got like these other areas we can go to from here. Okay, we are at 3 hours, so I just want to kind of come up with some cool way to wrap this up before ending stream. So let's have a quick look at the exploration cheat sheet. I think we've done that. Oh, you can actually scavenge. I assumed you could scavenge the whole site, but it says you can scavenge the current area. Okay. Right, so we got that. Just see if there's anything that I've not rolled on yet that I should have rolled on for this place. So we rolled for our exploration thing. We've got that it has a fixed event. And yes, that's everything. So we've not found any cool resources yet. We've just got the weird xenomorph room. I think it's covered in it says mud and slime. I think it's covered in probably like disgusting like white android blood, like from Alien. It's like the whole place is kind of covered in this weird milky substance, and we've got pods growing out of it with like little lizard guys being formed inside. And so I think stealth is the way to get through here. I want to creep around and get to a door that goes elsewhere. So I think I will make a stealth roll for the group. I think it's probably just going to be the lowest stealth. Yes, and if we pass the stealth roll, we'll be at a door that we can go through and begin exploring next time. This room will just be like a fixed like hazard on our way back. If we fail the stealth roll, maybe synths will burst out of the eggs, and we can also deal with that next time. Okay, stealth check. Let's see. It's an opposed check versus the enemy with the highest awareness. I suppose I'm just gonna like the enemies are inside eggs at this point, so I suppose we're just seeing if we succeed on a roll. And I guess we'll just have the least stealthy character roll this. So what would we roll for stealth for? So it's normally dexterity for NPCs. So that's so that'll be a 10 if the NPCs were to roll. What is my stealth? My stealth is 0. Incredible. Okay. I do have luck, though. Let me find out what luck does, because this seems like a situation which I want to be lucky. Character may spend 1 luck to re-roll any damage roll or fail check, or can spend all their luck to completely negate a killing blow. I guess my 0 stealth makes sense because I also have a nervous cough, and I am stressed enough to be nervously coughing. So, not the most sneaky of people. Maybe Silas will hang back. Yeah, Silas is going to hang back, and Zhao, who thinks he should be in charge, is going to sneak forward, try to get to another door. And fail. Okay. So, we need to mark off oxygen pellets for everyone because time has passed. And batteries. We do have a bunch of spare batteries and oxygen pellets on our dead comrades, but their bodies, as I said, have been devoured. So, I guess we don't have those. And I have some oxygen pellets as well. I started with 5, so I'm down to 4 oxygen pellets and 4 batteries. Okay. I don't just want to say it begins a huge combat again because we just spent like nearly 2.5 hours doing a big combat. So let's just have a look at the theme table and maybe see what tables do we have in the back here. I kind of want to see how this room reacts to us entering and not being stealthy. I guess I can ask yes/no questions, like do they attack or does something else happen? I kind of lean towards it'd be good for something else to happen. Okay, let's say it is very unlikely they attack, but something else might happen. Okay, we got a 19, so they're going to attack. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to play this out as something different than just a fight, because we've just done a very long fight. They're like small baby synths, so they're probably not as big a threat as the like full-grown swarmers that are running around. So maybe more of like an environmental hazard, how to get around this. Let's see what NPCs do. What do they know? I think probably the themes table is what I want to look at. Like, what's the like action or theme. Yeah, let's roll on these tables and see what we get. Kind of interpret this in the context of lots of small baby synths bursting out of eggs to try and kill us. Okay, we have 73 for an action control, or possibly a 37 open. The themes, we have innocence and burden. Control could be... so these are synthetics, so they presumably just like come out of the egg fully aware of everything and like with all their knowledge. Maybe they still take a bit of time to develop, or if they like pop out of the egg prematurely, they know they're not like fully developed. So probably you can interpret control as they might try to herd us somewhere that's more dangerous to us, like towards a lot of other synthetics. So they're gonna pop out of the eggs. So Zhao tries to sneak to a door, but steps on a tube of disgusting synth blood. Milky white synth blood, which pops loudly. The eggs kind of unfold, or pods. Kind of like tiny, half-formed synths begin to pour out. They seem small, but yeah, they're kind of like small enough to trample. Or they do have acid blood, so trampling them is a bad idea. I guess there has to be some threats, otherwise, yeah. They seem they I think maybe their like claw hands are not fully formed, so they can't attack us, but they kind of start ripping each other apart, so that's acid blood splashes everywhere, and that's how they're going to try to hurt us. Yeah. And let's just pick a direction they're trying to herd us. So we've got 7 routes. Sadly, I don't have a D7. Okay, 6 it is. We'll call this one the synth room. Just make it red. So they're trying to herd us to one of the doors that opens automatically. So Xiao tries to sneak to a door, but steps on a tube of milky white synth blood, which pops loudly. The pods unfold, and just open up, and tiny half-formed synths begin to pour out and surround us. At first, they don't seem to be much of a threat. Then some of them begin tearing apart others, spreading a pool of acid blood. Actually, I suppose he didn't step on a tube of synth blood, because that would have melted his foot. Step on a tube of... He just steps on something, which makes a crunching sound. The pods open up and tiny half-formed synths begin to pour out and surround us. At first, it didn't seem to be much of a threat. Then some of them begin tearing apart others, spreading a pool of acid blood and trying to herd us towards one of the doors that opens automatically. And the door opening automatically is worrying and surprising because this whole place is in lockdown. So, the synths are like connected with the computer that's running this place, which makes sense because they're synths. And we'll need to deal with this threat, but I don't know how off the top of my head, and I will pick this up next time, I think, after I've had time to sleep on it and think about what's going on. So I am now going to do like shorter campaigns for these Friday streams because I figured nobody wants to tune into like session 8 of something. So I guess this whole Across 1,000 Dead Worlds campaign might just be taking place in this first site we explore, because it's going to be like 5 sessions max, and next week will be session 3 and we'll be in the same place. But we will see. And of course, I could always return to this in the future for like a second arc. Right, anything I should talk about at the end? Not really. Yeah, I guess that was it. Thank you for watching. So tomorrow is going to be tentatively entitled "Let's Make a Dungeon and Write Some Lore," perhaps. I'm thinking it could be fun to take the Kernathalis dungeon generation rules, but rather than just slapping rooms together in the random combination which they come up with, you curate it a little bit, adjust things a bit, and try to make a dungeon that actually makes sense and doesn't feel random. And then possibly run a character through it. I don't know. We do have a pretty good Kernathalis character now. We'll see. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.